We have an opportunity now for public comment, and I notice that we have Keith Howel on here. Jeri, are you going to speak for him?
I may make a comment or two.
Before we get started, though, let me say this. If what you're going to say is about what we've already heard, would you stand up and just give your name and say whether you're for it or against it? Would you do that for us?
We can't add anything else to it.
Yes. I didn't say you couldn't add anything to it. If it's new, I said you could add.
Okay. I just want to make, I'm Jeri Howel, and I want to make one comment where the drinking water contaminants stand. We have cyanide, fluoride, and lead. Fluoride is between cyanide and lead in our drinking water. What does that say? Anyway, these public interest groups that control fluoride is a powerful special interest. They have captured the national power of the people. This, of course, is only true if we as individuals choose to continue to relinquish our grassroots power to these corporations. Corporations are controlling us.
What's that?
And we don't have to let them control us. And you all have the power
What's that?
not to do this. We've never had fluoride. It causes a lot of damage. I'm from a line of teachers, a family of teachers and nurses, and they see this ADD and ADHD rising in the school systems because of fluoridation. And that's all I have to say, but I would like to relinquish Keith's time to the nurse. Which one?
Me?
Either one.
You're a nurse. Whatever.
That's the nurse.
Let's go after the nurse though. I'm Vicki Smith, and I'm against putting fluoride in the water. I'm going to try to just say a few things I think are different. First of all, I encourage you all to watch the professional perspectives on water fluoridation, and that can be found on the Fluoride Action Network website. It's a video featuring a Nobel laureate in medicine, 3 scientists from the National Research Council's landmark review on fluoride, as well as dentists, medical doctors, and leading researchers in the field. It's very informative. Also, studies have shown there may be a link between arthritis and connective tissue damage and hip fractures to the exposure to fluoride. And I think that we probably all know someone that has these common ailments, and could they be caused by fluoride? Possibly. I know you have doubts about some of this information that you're hearing because we've always heard fluoride is wonderful. But if there's a chance that just one of these harmful effects could affect us or one of our loved ones, why would we want to take that risk? Why take the risk of harming the people that are depending on you to protect them by putting this toxic substance in their water? I feel it'd be irresponsible for us to do that, for you to add fluoride to the water when you know these facts. And I pray that you would agree that our community would not be exposed to the potentially life-threatening effects of fluoride exposure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to use the podium if I may. My name is Linda Checkanow, and I'm a parent and a resident of Sparta, and I will try to cut my comments and not be redundant to the things that have already been said, but I've got a box of fluoridated toothpaste, and on the back it very clearly says, warning, if more than used for brushing is accidentally swallowed, get medical help or contact a poison control center right away. Why should that be? I think that if you tell a lie long enough and loud enough, that a lot of people will begin to believe it. And I feel with total conviction that this is the case with adding ingestible fluoride to the water supply. I think that it's important for us to clarify that there are a lot of different fluoride compounds, and people get confused when they hear the word fluoride because they assume that all fluoride is the kind that you have in toothpaste and it's supposed to be good for you. Calcium fluoride, which is the fluoride that ostensibly is good for your teeth, that the dentist paints on there and that you spit and rinse with, is in fact still toxic to people, but it's considered largely benign because of its low solubility. You can't absorb it. Sodium fluoride, which is the ingredient in your toothpaste, is not a naturally occurring fluoride. It is a garbage product, a toxic waste of the phosphorus fluoride industry. And I think it's important to note that the lethal dose of sodium fluoride that could kill you for a 154-pound person is estimated at 5 to 10 grams. That's less than the weight of a paper clip. I think that there's no need to go through the laundry list of horrible health consequences that have been recently come to light. And ironically, sodium fluoride is also used as a laundry sour. It's a cleaning product. So I'm not going to go through those again. But I think that the important thing we need to touch on here is that adding fluoride to the water supply of any community is unethical. It forces medication on an entire population when some people would choose not to have it. As people have said, studies as early as the 1930s have showed that there were extreme hazards as a result of these fluoride compounds. But companies and organizations that were involved used the promotion of fluoridation in the water as a way of dumping this toxic waste and avoiding the expense of having to dispose of it in another way. How do you make something desirable? You tell people that it's good for them. You know, once fluoride's added to the water, it's complicated and expensive to remove it. I think that if there are people in the community who want to have fluoride, who need more fluoride than is in their toothpaste or their fruits or their vegetables or their juices or every other food product that they eat, let them go and get fluoride supplements. Let them go to the dentist and have it painted on their teeth. I don't make judgment on anybody or decide what anybody else should do, but let the choice not be made to force fluoride on people who don't want it, especially since there is no way of regulating the dosage according to someone's size and weight. My 4-year-old son is somewhere in the back of this room, and you can't tell me that a 4-year-old child should have as much fluoride in their system as a 150 or 200-pound grown person. I would ask the council this. When Allegheny County was approached by the Virginia Water Authority about this joint fluoridation project, what research was done by us to make sure that fluoridation was safe and would be a desirable addition to our community? What studies were provided to us documenting the supposed benefits and health effects on a diverse population and on the lasting impact that fluoridation would have on our environment and in the New River in particular? I attended a county commission meeting last night and I felt astonished and insulted when Don Adams, who is the county attorney, said that the reason that it was decided to go forward was that this was a common practice and that lots of areas do it. Well, it wasn't very long ago that asbestos was being put into buildings, and it was a common practice. And what are we doing about it now? We're tearing it out. It wasn't very long ago that pregnant women were told that smoking and drinking alcohol was good for their stress level and was absolutely harmless to the baby. And we know that now not to be true, but it was a common practice. The fact that fluoridation is the latest scam, for lack of a better word, to have been perpetrated on the American people does not make it okay. The fact that lots of places do it is not a reflection on the supposed health benefits of water fluoridation, but of the influence of the enormously wealthy phosphorus industry. I don't mean any disrespect. I too am emotional about this issue, and I am sure that when the idea was presented, the council felt like most people do. Fluoride is supposed to be good for you. We've heard it for years and years. But the amount of information that has come to light in recent years and that is readily available clearly shows that perhaps the decision to go forward in this project was made in haste. And the leadership of Allegheny County, all of it, should not jeopardize the lives and the health of the people of this community, its entire population, in order to save face or go ahead with something that they feel that they can't get out of or that money has already been issued for. Let us pull out of this project while there is still time to spare our children and our river the terrible impact of it. And as a final comment, I would offer you this. If dumping sodium fluoride into the ocean is illegal because of the level of its toxicity, and it is illegal, why would you want to dump it into your drinking water? The water in Allegheny County has always been clean and pure. It's part of the reason that my family chose to make this our home. And we are fortunate enough that we have our own clean well water, as many people do, and we're not reliant on the county water supply. But my son goes to school in town. We visit friends who are reliant upon the county's water. We choose to frequent restaurants and businesses that rely upon county water. And I assure you that it will negatively impact our decisions to go to businesses in town. I don't want to go to a restaurant that's serving pasta that's been cooked in newly poisoned water. I would call your attention to the seal that sits behind you. Heritage, opportunity, and pleasant environment. If there is a worse way to promote a pleasant environment than to deliberately dump poison into the drinking water, I don't know what it is. And I strongly urge this council to reconsider this proposition and to take into account the feelings of the people of this county and the evidence that has been presented to you and still continues to be available to you, and embark on a course that will save this county the aggravation that will happen if you fluoridate the water supply. I thank you for the opportunity to
Thank
speak.
you.